Namaste and welcome to Samvad, a platform where we converse, connect and convey. Myself Rajkumar.
And I'm Shashwat Srivastav, and we are very thrilled to have you here today as our guests. A very warm welcome to Samvad.
In today's episode, we are exploring a student's journey, academic insights and navigating through life's biggest transition, going to college. It's even more exciting because today we have two exceptional guests with us, our alumni. Ms. Khushi Pandit, a proud SRC graduate and now in a top tier firm, and Mr. Yash Jhunjhunwala, who have achieved a perfect score and also in SRCC.
How do you feel sitting back at your own school but now as guests?
It feels amazing. It's a feeling that nobody can ever describe, but yeah, it's great. It's great that I'm back here.
Feels really nice to be back here. Not exactly nostalgic, as I do not feel it has been long since I left the school. It feels like almost yesterday, but yes, definitely a good feeling.
So Khushi Di, as a GIS student myself, I know that a school promotes a lot of discipline and structured environment, but at the same time, it also promotes the idea of having co-curricular activities as a main agenda. Did you ever participate in them, and do you feel like those participation actually formed your personality in some manner?
Yes, I did, and I'm really grateful for all those opportunities. So there was this 2nd October exhibition, and there were certain inter-school competitions, Nukkad Nataks, and also certain more events like debate competitions. So yeah, it perfectly groomed me as to who I am sitting right here. And yeah, it was a great opportunity, and it definitely shaped me into a better person.
So it helped you having leadership qualities?
Yeah, it definitely did, and it also helped me to pursue certain other things in my college as well, in other societies, so yeah.
So you both have a fair share of college experience till now. And before going to college, we have this Bollywood-like image of what college is going to be like. But from your experience, is college what you thought it would be, or did reality throw some curveballs at you?
First of all, I am not a very big fan of Bollywood, so I did not have any expectations as such. Coming to how college life actually is, I will say that your college life could be whatever you want it to be. You will find people who have a very great sense of purpose for whatever they are doing. They are very determined towards their studies. And you will also find people who are there just to live the college life and make the full use out of it. And you will find people who are striving to maintain a balance between both. So the 3 to 4 years of your college life, to a large extent, it depends upon the group of people you surround yourself with. And coming to myself, I would say I am lucky to have been always surrounded by the wonderful set of people. So I guess that made it easier for me to adapt to college.
Yeah, I'm a huge Bollywood fan, and I'd just say that reality came in pretty strong, so yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Bollywood doesn't do justice to what real college is.
Yeah, obviously.
It does not show the struggles, it's all about the concept of friendship, but the struggles that a human faces, that is not shown very particularly.
Yeah, exactly. They just show you the one good side, but they don't majorly show what all struggles you're going to face in college. So yeah, that. So basically, don't follow what Karan Johar is telling you guys.
But some movies like 3 Idiots have shown a fair representation of college life too.
It is a
In a deeper sense.
Yeah, it depends. It depends where you are at that time. And for myself, I feel I had pretty good faculties, and also my peers were really supportive. So I had that. So yeah, it really depends on the people surrounded by you.
like, if you're discussing about that, I would like to bring one follow-up question to it. Do you feel like having good friends and like FOMO, the idea of FOMO, that your friends are out having parties or going out and enjoying, and you're at your home studying for an exam or like assessment, do you feel, how did you manage both of the things?
Okay, so fun for me is pretty important.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it goes above the academics, but I've tried both. I've tried, there was this time I had my internal the next day and this concert of my favorite singer. So I went there, I had zero prep, but I just went there, I enjoyed, and I feel like enjoyment is a part of life, right? And you can't avoid it. You have to enjoy. And like next day, I obviously you have to sacrifice something. So I sacrificed my sleep, which is also very important to me. So obviously कुछ ना कुछ तो छूटेगा ही life में.
कुछ फेवरेट के लिए कुछ फेवरेट छोड़ना पड़ता है.
Exactly, you have to.
Yes, and I will also agree that, as she said, maintaining a balance is very important. And talking about the fear of missing out, I think to a certain degree, the fear of missing out can be used for your own benefit. I have this friend of mine in college who is always constantly afraid that he will miss out on something knowledgeable. कि अच्छा उसने ये book पढ़ा है मैंने ये book नहीं पढ़ा तो क्या मैं भी ये पढ़ सकता हूँ? If he is undertaking this course, then can I also do this course? What are the benefits of this course? So the fear of missing out can obviously be used to benefits, but one should not do anything for the sake of doing it or because some other person is doing it. So what could help in dealing with such fear is always looking at the larger picture and analyzing the opportunity cost behind each and every action. So I think that can help.
That's a really good point because in today's generation उनका ये होता है if they are doing it मैं भी करता हूँ because मुझे वो picture से बाहर नहीं जाना उस चीज़ के. So Khushidi, I'm very curious to know that you have had incredible transitions from our school life to college and now college to a corporate world. I just want to know how did you manage it all because it has not been an easy journey.
So basically, when we're in school, it's a protective environment. The teachers are so protective towards you, and it's all like spoon feeding, and they'll be concerned about you as well. But cut to college, when I went to college, nobody cares about you. And you have to, make your own space there. You have to learn everything yourself. Everything that comes to you in school will not come to you in college. So it's that. And also that shaped me pretty well for corporate. And now that I'm in corporate, obviously there are extended hours. Like first of all, it was screen timing from your mobile phone, and now it's laptop. So the screen timing has pretty much extended, to be honest. But yeah, if you ask me, I'd any day go back to my school.
So can we say कि when we are at school हम लोग एक तरह से care होता है कि आप क्या करना चाहते हो and people actually care about you कि क्या क्या reasons है. But when you go to college, they don't care and there is a competition, the idea of competition.
Yeah, it's a rat race in college. Like you make friends, but so basically when you join college, there would be a huge group. Okay, you would be a part of that group. But when you come to the end of the college, you'll just be like you yourself, or maybe one or two certain like decent friends you'd make. So obviously everybody is selfish and you have to be selfish, right?
You have to be selfish to
Yeah.
achieve something.
Exactly, and everyone is in their own rat race, and you have to, in your mind you would be like कि मुझे उससे better करना है. So yeah, due to that, it's a lot of competition.
So same thing is in school life. Like the idea of students is loyalty. When we are small, there is the idea कि मेरा दोस्त है, मुझे इसके साथ चलना है. But when you come to college, it's all about competition, and then the idea of selfishness comes कि मुझे इससे better करना है because I have to get a better life.
Yeah, it is there, and I'm pretty much grateful that I got one decent, good friend. And yeah, but there were people who got ditched by their friends, and it's also okay because they're doing it for themselves, right?
It's a part of life.
Yeah, it's a part of life. You can be like on either of the side. So yeah, that's that.
So before you guys started preparing for competitive exams, I'm sure you heard a lot of advice. Some true, some maybe not so much. So what were the biggest myths or misconceptions you heard before the preparation? And now looking back, which was the most important one and how did they shape your journey?
I think I came across many positive and genuine advices while I was preparing for the exams. One myth that I think is predominantly attached with the idea of succeeding in such exams is that those who succeed in these exams have like a special cognitive ability or that their brain is wired differently. But I believe that is not the case. From what I have noticed that the people who succeed in such exams, the only difference is that they have a special inclination towards maintaining a certain degree of consistency and perseverance. So it is discipline over motivation that helps one succeed in such examinations, and it is nothing special maybe in a cognitive ability.
So there's another myth that the only way to succeed in such exams like CUET or maybe be science stream like JEE or NEET is studying around the clock. That you have to study for 12 hours a day if you want to succeed properly. So is that true?
No, that is certainly not the case. You do not have to study for 12 to 14 hours a day. That is certainly a myth. I believe no, not everyone can do that. What I think is necessary, as I said, consistency is important. You cannot study for 12 to 14 hours every day, but you have to pick a reasonable and acceptable time limit that I think could be anywhere between 3 to 6 hours a day. And you just have to follow that every day, every single day, and that would be more than enough, I think.
So
And
you
adding to that, I feel quality is what matters. Like you can go on studying for 12 to 14 hours, but maybe you just get majorly like 3 to 4 hours of quality work that you have done. So yeah, I feel quality is more important. So you can't go on studying for 12 to 14 hours.
So how do you improve the quality of studying? Like if I'm sitting for 12 hours, that's a physical work I can do. How can I make sure that during those 12 hours or maybe just even 6 hours, those are more productive than being just studying?
So
only?
basically, study when you really want to study, and also you should know beforehand that what are you going to complete, or you should know your schedule basically. So it's always better to make a timetable sort of, or a to-do list. It always helps me. So yeah,
So
that
you have
brings
to-
out the quality.
You have to have clear goals.
Yes,
to succeed,
exactly.
yeah.
Did you use the same like timetable method?
No, I did not follow a specific timetable, but I was sure to study for a specific amount of time. And if not for time, I usually used to target by the topics I have to cover. If I'm covering the topics in 3 hours, be it 3 hours, and if I'm covering those topics maybe in 2 or 4 hours, then that is okay. But I have to complete these topics today. So that target is much more achievable.
So it's goal-based success. So you have to set short-term goals, long-term goals. And
Yes, in the short term, you have to focus on the goals, and in the long term, you have to focus on the process. You do not have to worry about the results, but instead, when you are preparing, you have to make sure you are following a structured process.
बहुत टाइम होता है कि यू आर सेइंग कि एक टाइम टेबल होना चाहिए या फिर एक आपको जब मन कर रहा है आप तब पढ़ो, बट इफ मन नहीं कर रहा है पढ़ने का, देन व्हाट टू डू?
Take a pause, maybe take another subject. It always helps. Like even maybe your first exam is of maths, and after that you're having a science exam, but you are not in the mood to pick the maths book up and solve it. So it's always better to pick another subject because it will obviously help you.
another thing I'm curious about is distractions, especially our phones. People say out of sight, out of mind. But even if we keep our phone out of sight, the moment it beeps or we get a notification, our focus is gone. So how did you both manage distractions in general and especially our phones?
So what I did was I usually used to keep it on silent. It always helped, or maybe turn it off completely. But our brain is very tricky, right? And you'll always have certain things, or maybe you need to Google something, so you need your phone. And when you go to your phone, there'll be a lot of notifications and you will get distracted. So what I did was I used to just give away my phone to my parents, maybe my mom, and she'll obviously never give it back to me unless I have achieved what I sat there for. So yeah, I used to do that.
Yes, I would resonate with the same. There's this very astonishing feature on my phone also called the silent mode, which obviously helps. And I think the answer to such questions are sometimes very simple and people tend to overcomplicate it. So the best solution could be, yes, I would agree, to maybe give it to a family member or just switch it off. And we should remember the smartphone is obviously a very helpful tool with the information, with the amount of information it literally puts at your fingertips. But we must remain conscious that we should be the one controlling our smartphone and it should not be the other way around.
So Khushidi, every journey has its ups and downs, and I believe that you both have faced your fair share. How did you manage it all, and what did you guys do when things did not go as planned?
So basically there will be a lot of moments when you will feel that you may have lost everything and like there's no going back or there's no one. So just remember that there is always some person around you, maybe your friends, maybe your family, and family is always there for you, right? So you need to talk because obviously mental health is the first primary thing that is very important and you need to take care of that. So yeah, that. And also one thing that I always tell myself is to take a pause. because you need to take a pause, you need to gather everything, your thoughts, the encouragement that you need to go ahead. So yeah, that taking a pause and talking to someone, it always helps.
So, since you have both achieved incredible success, I'm pretty sure it wasn't always smooth sailing. So, what is that one key lesson or suggestion or maybe a quote that stuck with you through your entire life which you want to give to us?
I would say there is no specific quote that I would attribute explicitly to studies. But yes, what I have always tried to follow is that one must focus on the process and not on the outcome. As when one is focusing on the outcome, one may lose sight of what he is actually supposed to do in the present moment. So yes, focusing on the process is much more important, I would say.
I agree with him. Obviously, with the perfect hard work and the amount of consistency, you will achieve what you want. But it will take time, but you have to trust the process, obviously. And one recent thing that was told to me in my corporate was network is net worth. So basically, you have to network a lot in college, in your corporate life, and it always helps.
Alright. Let's take a detour from our serious talks and have some fun. We're about to start a rapid fire round where we will throw some quick questions on your way.
No overthinking, just go with the gut and we'll get to know the real you.
First question. What is your go-to study snack?
Protein bars.
First thing you do with a free day of college or work?
Take some rest or play badminton.
Sleep.
Bollywood or Hollywood?
Hollywood.
Bollywood any day.
What is your favorite sport?
Badminton.
Basketball.
One subject you loved in school?
Economics.
Taxation.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Messi.
If you would have one superpower, what would it be?
Time travel.
That bread thing in Doraemon where they used to print whole answers and you just have to eat it and you'll remember everything. I want that.
Yeah, one day before exam when you're having a panic attack.
Yes.
But not Ali Sharma, it's 300 pages.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. School or college?
College.
School.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Mountains.
Movies or series?
Series.
Series.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Thrillers.
The third one. Music or podcast while driving? Or being the passenger princess?
Music.
Music. But I should have the control of it.
Good point. Last question. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Marvel.
We are going to have some controversy in the comment section.
That was a blast. I hope our listeners enjoyed it as much as we did.
It's the small moments that makes the life interesting. Thank you, Hugo. Is there any advice which you would like to give us?
I would say that starting from 9th or 10th class onwards, the 4 to 5 years of your academic life are like an investment you are making in yourself. It is like a fixed deposit. Except for that, it will yield you better returns than anything else would. So one needs to be very dedicated in those 4 to 5 years. And more importantly, one must be very conscious about the type of people they surround themselves with.
Yes, and obviously making short-term goals which will lead you in success of the long terms as well. So that managing your time, and of course I agree with him what he said about surrounding yourself with good people. So yeah, that is very important. And obviously trust the process. You will achieve what you want. It will take time, but you have to trust. You have to think it through.
Thank you guys for your time and for being so candid and inspiring.
Really thank you guys for telling so many good deeds and details to us. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We hope today's episode inspired you. Whether you're in school, preparing for exams, or chasing your dreams, remember, every step brings you closer to your dreams.
That's all for today's episode of Samvad. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe.
Until next time, keep conversing, keep connecting, keep conveying. Thank you.